Hello and welcome back to Couch Surfing with Koi, the traveling podcast where the guests are whoever lets me sleep on their couch. And in today's episode, I'm in Brooklyn, New York, crashing on the couch of the writer and comedian Julia DiCesare. In this episode, we talk about getting into stand-up, recreating the entire Hunger Games movie shot for shot in one weekend, which we did together recently. We talk about entering the somewhat miserable dating scene in New York City, as well as a bunch of other stuff that you'll hear very soon. I think that's all I have to say, though. Wait, one more. Well, good morning, Julia.
Good morning.
This is the earliest I've been awake since 2017.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It is currently, 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
Who's
Who's ever recorded a podcast at 9 in the morning?
probably, people with better podcasts than me.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, is a roommate home?
Oh, a roommate is already we already have a guest appearance.
No.
Wait, they can't get the key open?
Hey.
Hey! Welcome back.
Are you
Wait,
okay walking on camera? This is my roommate.
Hey. So who are your roommates?
So that's Izzy.
Izzy. Hi, Izzy, nice to meet
Izzy
you.
just went to the gym, and my roommate in here is Anya.
How'd you meet them?
We all went to college together.
That's awesome.
But I didn't know Izzy when we were in college together.
Okay.
We were just like, what is it? Not winds, ships passing in the night. You know?
In the night?
Yeah, in the night. And then
Was that your first time ever using
Yeah.
an old saying?
yeah, it was very deep in my memory somewhere. I was gonna try to sound smart.
You did.
Good. Okay. And then my roommate Anya, we met writing sketch comedy together in college.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So you went to college at Syracuse?
Yeah.
Which is in New York.
Yeah.
You grew
Upstate.
you grew up in Connecticut.
Yes.
So is that too far? Upstate New York, is that
It's not
from-
far. It's like 4 hours, like a 4-hour drive, which I
Okay.
felt was like an appropriate distance.
Yeah, that's
I really needed
nice.
to get out, and I was like, that's far enough, and but still close enough. You know, all those
Yeah.
things.
That's nice. That's nice. So how did you get into comedy at Syracuse? Because you were going to school for film?
So
Is that right?
I got a degree in film and
So
television.
you wanted to be like a barista or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to have like job opportunities, but I was gonna study PR,
Okay.
and my plan was to do PR for like investment firms.
Oh,
I have a finance minor.
do they have to make apologies very often?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I want to do like crisis management
Right.
for like money people. I don't know what was wrong with me.
Wait,
And then-
actually, sorry. You found the worst job.
It's like truly maybe one of the worst, like morally the worst, just like all in all terrible. But that was like gonna be my plan. And then I thought this boy was cute in one of my Zoom classes. And I like messaged him on Zoom, and he had like a poster for The Office, which like who has a poster for The Office? But anyway,
Him. Wait, what was the poster though?
it was like a Threat Level Midnight poster.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tasteful.
was
It wasn't
tasteful.
like Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, it was
but-
it was self-aware,
Okay.
maybe. And I was like, I said something to him like, I like your poster. And he was like, you need to listen to this podcast about The Office. And then I had literally never listened to a podcast in my life before. I was like 18 years old, 19 years old. I was like, never listened to a podcast. And and
Sorry, he sounds dreamy.
No, it ended
You
up not
need to
being
listen to
the
this
one.
podcast about The Office.
He was like, please listen to this podcast about The Office. So I was like, okay. So I listened to it, hoping like it would create some connection between us. And it was all the writers talking about writing it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, that's a job I could have.
Yeah.
And then I declared my major, and nothing happened with the boy, but it was like the podcast was truly like the main reason I changed majors. I was like,
Wait, that's crazy. This is like my sister, she watched Grey's Anatomy and now she's like a physician's assistant.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people though who feel that we're obsessed with Grey's Anatomy. We're like, I'm gonna be a doctor. Like,
It is concerning.
Yeah.
They're
yeah,
like They're like making out with their coworkers in the storage closet.
They have all
Isn't
the
that
yeah.
what Grey's Anatomy is about?
I think so. I don't know. I've only watched it in like snippets.
Yeah, same. And I feel like every time there's like some kind of like lustful romance happening in the hospital.
I think
And
in
also
the
someone's
closet somewhere.
yeah.
Like also, I don't know if you watch. I watch mostly like upbeat like comedy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but like I can't. I understand it's very good TV, but like a hospital show is so low energy. You know,
Yeah.
hey, we have another roommate coming out. Hey, do you not want to be on
Hello.
camera? Are you okay? Okay. We're
Good
just this is
morning.
Anya.
Good morning, Anya.
And yes,
Wait, what were we talking about?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's
But
Anatomy.
yeah, it's just low energy. I
Yeah.
can't do a hospital
It's also
show.
very blue.
Yes.
The
What
whole
is with that?
The whole show is like, what if Scrubs was a show?
It's
Wait,
so
that
blue.
is a show called
Scrubs is a show.
Okay.
Scrubs is another show. It's another doctor show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom used to watch General Hospital.
Why are there so many? And
I
now
don't
there's a
know.
sitcom version.
What's that?
St. Dennis.
What was the one that the the St. I saw a clip of that the other day.
I
And I was
haven't
like, that
actually-
looks really funny, and then I didn't watch it. So
Yeah.
so it's probably
Network TV.
yeah.
It's on the up, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. They're
It's
trying.
it's a few clips are on the up
There's
on my
clips.
For You page.
They're clipping.
They're certainly clipping. What was the show that the TikTokers made in the hospital?
Oh, dude, I have no idea.
Do you know it? Like Dixie D'Amelio was like a doctor.
No, this isn't a side of the internet. I don't think. I think I'm not nearly as like internet knowledgeable as you, because I think.
Thank you.
No, you. I feel like you know everything,
Thank
and
you.
I like. I don't know. I don't know.
I do think that I feel myself growing out of it.
You do.
That actually is gonna make me cry to say.
No, that's
No, I'm not gonna
okay.
cry. I'm not gonna cry. Like I didn't get good sleep last night. Like
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's this stupid podcast that I keep trying to do
Yeah.
and trying to make work, and someone just needs to tell him it's not gonna work. Go sleep in your bed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay. Go get some sleep. But
Yeah. Go back to what you were saying.
I'm not on apps very much anymore.
Yeah, you're
And
saying your screen time's down.
my screen time is so down. I'm not scrolling through TikTok very much. Instagram Reels is a hellscape for me because I just like have never trained the algorithm because like when Instagram Reels came out, it was like kind of a joke.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that we all still thought that. But now people are like sending me reels and stuff and I'm like, "Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You are under the age of 25 and you're behaving this way."
Yeah. I'm
A-
noticing it
And
too.
I was like, when were we supposed to curate our algorithm? I never did that. And now every single video of mine is like in my Instagram reel is like satisfying video next to Young Sheldon clip. You know, like the classic.
Which
Or
is-
it'll be like
yeah.
super hyper cut Hannah Montana episode.
Great. And that's on your algorithm. Okay,
It'll
okay.
be like Miley Cyrus did this. No way.
Yeah.
And then it's like her with a boy.
Her with a
or
boy.
something.
We should go back and watch that show.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. And I also, the funny thing is, in the past week, I was thinking, I think my Instagram Reels algorithm has learned. And
Really?
Yeah, somehow. And is better than my TikTok one. Well, I'll tell you this.
That's a scary thought.
I know. But I feel like my TikTok algorithm wants to like keep me on the app and is like wants to exploit me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my Instagram one, I feel like tends to be more about like stuff I like.
Sorry, you have parasocial relationships with algorithms.
TikTok is just so exploitive of me. But Instagram understands me so much
Instagram
better.
holds my hand and says,
Instagram
"Watch
is like,
this if
you'll
you want."
actually like this. And it's things I care about. No, but it is something I noticed, which I think is, but I agree with you where like I think it's very difficult to be people on the internet whose jobs are the internet while also wanting your screen time to be low. Because I think then you feel like you're saying, if you feel like you're growing out of it, like I feel out of the loop constantly, like all the time.
I feel unk.
Unk? Yeah, I don't know that.
Oh no.
Oh, unk.
Yeah, unk.
Unk?
Like
I don't know how to use it.
Like, it's okay, and see, that makes you unk, as they would
Okay,
say,
okay.
and they're no longer saying that. So we are learning this one just a little bit too late.
Okay.
But I don't know.
What's not being used anymore.
I don't know what else they're doing. I saw like I saw some some Instagram reel that was like a teacher being like, I made this and all my students said that the answer was 67. And then like everyone was like, I don't get it. And someone was like, there's a new meme about 67.
Oh no.
And I was like, what do you mean they're not making new memes? They haven't told me yet. They're not
Yeah.
doing it. So stop saying that there's new memes
Oh,
when there's
no.
not.
Yeah.
So that's really scary.
Well, you know what? I've been thinking about the same thing in the sense
Yeah.
where I was like, I write scripts and I was thinking like, oh, it'd be fun to write like a high school comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking like, I don't know internet culture and high school culture at this moment in time well enough to accurately write high schoolers. Like if I wrote high schoolers, they'd be like Gen Z. It's like someone writing, yeah, it's like an old person writing a high school show. I think I could do it better than a 40-year-old, but like I don't know what's cool.
Yeah.
I actually don't. Which is scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I was at a coffee shop the other day and they were selling like a bunch of like little gifts and stuff. And I was like, oh no, this is for like Gen Z millennial cusp. Cause like usually you go into like stores like that where they have all like the trendy like cards and keychains and stickers. And it's all like stuff about like avocados and Hogwarts houses or stuff, like millennial stuff. But now we're getting to like wallets that say like sweet treat fund.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's for us. It was like, no.
Yeah.
They've merchandised what are all of our sayings and our words.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
The EP epidemic.
Yeah.
Stuff like that we gotta get rid of before they start catching on.
I think about that all the time when we're like 28, how like out of it we'll be, or will we find a way to like stay not annoying? And do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think that our generation has ever found a way to not be annoying. Okay, wait, I was gonna ask you how we were talking about you getting into film or in college.
Podcast.
Yes.
Declared major.
How did that happen?
I applied for like a sketch group that my roommate Anya was already in and started doing that. But I had like no comedy writing experience at the time. But I'm like a pretty competitive person. So it was a cool process though, because there's like fully like a room of writers, and we're all in college, but like a room of really funny, talented people, and you'd go with pitches, and that was like where I learned how to pitch and like bring jokes that like to see if try to make the room laugh. I just wanted to get really good, so I feel like I started studying like sketch then. And then I was doing that for a couple years, and I started doing stand up my sophomore year. So then I was doing stand up and sketch, became the head writer of that room for that sketch show.
Wow.
Which was really fun. I loved that. Cuz then I was like in charge of a room of like 15 writers.
Yeah.
Which was so fun.
Yeah.
And then I was like posting stand-up clips online
Mhm.
before I should have been. Like I wasn't very good at the time, but I just like stand-up was fully life-changing for me.
Mhm.
Like it shed so much anxiety.
Mhm.
And so then I started posting stand-up and doing stand-up in the city, and then American High was like, "Hey, do you want to come work for us?"
Wow. So American High, for viewers that don't know,
Yes.
is like a sketch comedy group owned by a media company?
Essentially,
kind of?
it's owned by, I would call them like a production company. So
Okay.
they mostly make movies. They made Summer of '69 out on Hulu now.
Uh-huh.
I'm in there,
Uh-huh.
but it's quick, so keep your eyes peeled. Film production company, writers strike. They couldn't make any movies. They were like wanted to dip their toe in like internet sketch comedy. We were doing that, and it ended up being like pretty successful. And we did that I worked there for full time for like a little over a year.
Wow.
Yeah, through
That's awesome.
it was really fun, and I did that through my senior year of college.
Mhm.
And that was
And
that.
they found you through like stand-up clips or
So Ryan recommended me because him and I met in school. We like went to school together. I auditioned, got it, and they hired me over the summer.
What was the audition like?
I came in for a shooting weekend, and basically I was just trying to like improv as much as I could and like make other people's sketches as funny as I could.
Mm-hmm.
But I had like no acting experience at that time. So I was so nervous, like be on camera. Like being on camera when you don't feel comfortable on camera is so hard.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like really nervous. But it was honestly, it was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we made so many sketches.
I feel like it seems like a great group of people. I mean,
The best.
I got
The
to meet
best.
them basically at Grace's birthday. Grace
Yeah.
Ryder, friend of the podcast,
Yeah.
enemy in real life.
Yeah.
We for her 24th birthday, she invited us all to an Airbnb in the middle of the woods
Mhm.
to recreate the Hunger Games shot for shot.
Yes.
Um,
Which with the whole American High gang was there, and we had extra friends there, and it was insane.
it was incredible.
It was so fun.
The only person that I knew showing up to there was Grace.
That's honestly so brave of you.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
Yeah.
I would have been giving myself a pep talk in the car. I don't know if you were there mentally, but like I was like, but you were also saying last night you feel like you thrive in like an uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, I've gotten really good at just like being comfortable in the discomfort because it's like
I think that's
it's
so
not
cool.
it's not uncomfortable unless I feel uncomfortable. Like I'm the one who holds
Yes.
the discomfort. Like if like the example that I was using last night was like when I was at Grace's, I went to like uh rehearsal for their like comedy show and there were like 6 comics
Oh
there
yeah,
that
yeah,
were
yeah.
just kind of like there's just one guy kind of sitting backstage or like in the audience while we like rehearse.
Mhm.
And I was like, if I don't feel uncomfortable, like if I feel uncomfortable, these people are gonna be like, why is that guy here and why is he like uncomfortable? You know, and
Yeah.
then they're gonna feel uncomfortable. But if I'm just like, hi, I'm
Hey.
Coy and I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be here,
Yeah.
and you don't have to know why, and I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with that, then suddenly they're like, oh, okay, that's just
It
how that is and how he is. And it's like,
yeah.
it's not their problem to deal with. They don't have to feel like they need to try to make because that's where people become uncomfortable is when they feel like they need to make you feel comfortable. But it's like if I'm feeling like
If I feel fine.
secure in myself, yeah, just like doing nothing and being there,
Totally.
then like
Well,
I
it's like
can.
it's the difference of like because it's like if you're in a conversation with someone and there's someone who clearly feels uncomfortable in said conversation or like they don't have something to add, yeah, the discomfort spreads to
Mhm.
everyone else. But it's like I love a person who will just so happily say nothing and just
Yeah.
like be there and
Yeah.
like is so secure in their presence there that like no one questions it. It's like that's so powerful.
I need to find more people who talk less.
Yeah,
I just feel like
I think everyone needs to talk less, and I think
True, real.
I think truly
We're really getting somewhere on this podcast where we're talking.
Well, I feel like it's the thing of like being more inward with yourself too, of like
Mhm.
being comfortable, just being quiet and like just observing. But also that was the realization I feel like I made maybe in like high school because I used to be like really easily embarrassed, as like every high schooler is. But like at some point it clicked that it's like, oh, if you decide something's not embarrassing, it stops being embarrassing because
Mhm.
it's an internal feeling. If something embarrassing happens to me and I decide to laugh instead of like, turn bright red and like hate myself,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter anymore.
Y-
It stops
yeah.
mattering.
Yes, absolutely. You get to kind of own that.
You get to control it, which
Mhm.
is so great. I feel like stand-up's been helpful with that too.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's like you have to just like bomb and then like be like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
you're
okay.
talking about stand up like shedding a lot of your anxiety. Do you think that that's kind of where that came from?
Yes, but also, I mean, was really helpful in that way of like having to learn that like, oh, no one laughed for 5 minutes. I'm still alive and like it's fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like before I ever did stand up, my big issue in my life was I felt very like uncomfortable in my skin
Hmm.
and like I went to great lengths to like get people to like me and like really just wanted validation that I was okay and like who I was, you know what I mean? And I did stand up and I felt just like so for like 5 minutes it was like just me, just Julia talking to all these people who were listening
Mm.
for no reason. And I was making them laugh by myself with words I thought of.
Hmm.
And it felt so gratifying of like, oh, that was just me
Yeah.
fully. and it worked. So it felt like this, like, so freeing in that sense. Then I became literally addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna do this for a long time. This is
Yeah.
really crazy.
What do you think like got you into it?
I've always been like a huge consumer of comedy. So like in
So
like
probably like the Office podcast.
yeah, the Office podcast. But, like, I loved sitcoms, and also I've been a huge like SNL fan
Mm.
for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Before I did stand up, I was like waiting in the line to go to SNL for like 12 hours. Like I would do that, and then I started thinking about stand up. But you know what really is motivating? This is helpful, I feel like, if anyone wants to do stand up, watch some bad stand up. Like, watching bad stand up makes you think like, oh, I can do this. Like, I
Yeah.
can because so I did stand up for the first time at like a student run venue before I decided I wanted to like put my name in the ring and be like, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a show as just a viewer, and a lot of the people were quite bad,
Mm-hmm.
but people were laughing. And so my competitive mind was like, oh, if this guy can make everyone laugh with that stupid joke, like, I will work on a set for 2 weeks and it will be so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, and it went really well. I was also really lucky because I feel like a lot of people do stand up for the first time at a mic where it's like hell,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like 4 35-year-old men there and they're not going to laugh.
Yeah.
I did stand up for the first time to like 60 drunk teenagers
Right.
who like were happy to be there.
Yeah.
So I had a great time, which kind of like got the ball rolling forever.
Sorry,
Oh, that's
I
okay.
keep thinking about how you during the Hunger Games. So you played Rue.
Yeah. Yeah.
You you and Grace both got poison ivy.
Yeah. Well, I think
There's
Grace
like
got
a
it.
beautiful shot of like you laying on the ground, tears coming down your face, and it's like you said you sent it to your mom.
I sent the photo to my mom to be like, look how beautiful this shot is. And she was like, there's poison ivy like a few inches away from your face. I was like, oh. But Grace, I think, got it from the tree scene when she's in the tree.
Oh,
Because
right.
it was really funny. Tommy was pointing at the tree going, there's poison ivy on the tree. There's poison ivy. And Grace's hand just went straight for it and like grabbed it. And he just kept it. He was like, Grace, there's poison ivy. And then, yeah, it's all over her body now.
It was crazy filming an entire movie in a weekend.
Well, it made me think like we could shoot like another movie if we had a week. Dude,
Yeah.
if we had a week,
we
could make a really great movie.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with us because I feel like a lot of people's attitude was like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And we did it.
Yeah.
And we did not without working hard. I feel like we all worked.
Yes.
We worked.
Very hard, but also it was a lot. The work was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. All of it was fun.
A lot of it was just like, okay, this is what's supposed to happen in this scene. So let's like kind of do what they do, but also
Yeah.
like improv it and then be like,
Yeah.
ooh, we kind of like that joke, or like we don't like that one, or like, just
It was a
just rerunning
really
it.
nice mix of movie accurate and really funny changes. And like,
Yes.
which I'm always so impressed. Like, funny people are so amazing to me. They're like my favorite people to be around.
Thank
like,
you.
yeah. Like, everyone there was so good at
Yeah.
like coming up with stuff on the spot. I'm just like always so impressed by that.
I was really, really impressed by everyone's ability to be a part of the group. Because I
Yeah.
feel like when you get 15 funny people in a room together, it's like, all right, who can be the loudest?
Yeah.
And it's like, who is gonna like try to like take control and make it all about them? Because like that's what we all do for a living, is
Yeah.
take control and make it all about us.
No, you're totally right.
And it's like when I was in high school and I was doing like improv, it was a lot of like, and I'm sorry for saying that.
It's okay. It's fine.
Thank you for understanding. But it was a lot of like, it was a lot of like, doing like improv scenes with like other schools that like of people you didn't know, and there were always people who like thought they were the funniest people
and
in
had
the
to be the
world,
loudest.
and they had to be the only person. Yeah.
Well, sorry, wait, you keep going.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, like, if there's someone who's actually really, really funny, let's say they are very naturally comedically gifted, if they can learn to shut up
Yeah.
and use it when is appropriate, they become such a more powerful performer. Do you know what I
Mhm,
mean? Where like
mhm.
to be able to like just stop talking
Yeah.
and use it when it's the best time.
Yeah.
And I think that takes so long for some people to learn.
Mhm.
But like you can know you're really, really funny and just not say something all the time.
Yeah.
But we got really lucky with American High and like that whole group of people. That always amazed me that we got a group of that, like a or six really funny people, and no one had like a crazy ego.
Hmm.
No one was a huge like. I mean, we all like attention, but we all like kind of like it equally, so it kind of all balanced out.
I wonder if it had to do with the fact that it was like something you guys were doing something that hadn't been done before. That like no one
Maybe.
felt like they were
Well, when
walking up to something that they were like, "Oh, this is my thing." It's
yeah,
like you guys were making like high school sketch comedy.
yeah,
It's like that you kind of were all out of your element in a way,
completely.
you
And
know?
when we started, also, it was very much like, we don't know if this is going to work. Like when we were originally hired, we were hired for a guaranteed 2 months. And they were like,
Mm,
we're going to see if this works. And if it doesn't work, you don't have a job anymore in 2 months. And we
cool.
were like, got it. Okay, noted. And
Hmm.
I think for the most part, none of us thought it would go past 2 months. We were like, what are the odds this works? I think it was because of that. Like we were all a team, like working on something together. It made us all very close. I think that also helped with like the Grace's weekend of like it being very friendly and supportive. Also, it being for Grace's birthday is huge because it's like
Right.
we were all there ultimately for our friend, which I
Yeah.
think helps so much. But I agree, we're like, dude, if you tried to do that with a group of comedians any larger and they don't know each other as well, I think it could go very wrong.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it could be entertaining, but I think
Absolutely.
there would be personalities where I'd like want to throw myself against a wall.
Yeah. I was surprised by how sane I felt by the end of the
Yeah,
weekend.
I felt like really, of course I was tired, but like
Yeah.
it felt so good to be around all those people for that length of time. Like I love I loved everybody there. It was so fun.
Every once in a while you get some kind of like project or opportunity that kind of like puts you right in the middle of everything that you want to be doing. And
Yeah.
that was one of those for me.
Improv and
Cuz it's like,
collaboration, but
yeah,
also kind of scripted and also it's a
and
movie,
also kind of just
Hunger
like hanging
Games and
out,
hanging
but kind
out.
of professional, but kind of
Well,
not.
what's
And
funny is like Grace always thought of it as like this will just be a fun thing but that's everything Grace does where she's just like motivated by fun, which I
yeah,
think is like why she's so successful. But like
yeah,
um truly, I think we there's a really good movie there.
yeah,
like unironically,
yes.
I think it's gonna be like a really good movie.
I'm so excited to watch. I hope we get to have a premiere.
Oh, there has to be a premiere.
How Grace makes her content purely motivated by fun
Yeah.
is like so inspiring and so motivating to
Oh
me.
yeah, I'm
Like
very inspired by her.
and when I'm like around, she's like, "Oh, would it be funny if?" And she's kind of like making up video ideas on the spot,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like, "Okay,
yeah.
okay, I'm recording saying this thing or doing that," and it just feels like you're like recording like a video on Snapchat for your friend. Like it doesn't feel like work for her. It just
Yeah.
feels like she's like, "Oh, that would be really funny," or like, "I just want to try this
That's
thing," and
always how
like,
she's operated. It's very
yeah,
cool. It's
is
very cool to see.
um when you took me to a coffee shop this morning and there were like, like the tip jar wars that are happening where it's
Mhm.
like um Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings, give money to one of them. And I was talking about how conceptual these tip jars have gotten. It was in the coffee shop, it was rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Like time or space,
Yeah.
consciousness or reality.
Empty or full.
Empty.
They're running out of ideas. Honestly, most of the time I'm tapping anyway. I don't have
Right.
dollar bills on me a lot. They're trying to get creative. They're trying to tap into something.
Yeah,
It's a very millennial heavy neighborhood we're in.
really.
Yeah.
How's
Yeah.
that? How's that feeling?
It's interesting. I definitely listen to people's conversations a lot and they're exactly what you'd think they would be like.
Mm.
Not a hater of millennials. It's just interesting to me.
Wait, what are the kinds of conversations you're hearing?
I it's like especially at that bookstore. We went to a coffee shop that's also a bookstore and it feels like an I'm smarter and more woke than you competition,
Mm.
you know?
Mhm.
And I don't care for that too much, but I'll llisten. It's
Well, that
entertaining.
brings me to my next
Yeah.
segment.
Yeah. I'm
Are you smarter and more woke than me?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, well, I think that like I'm
Yeah.
done being woke this year.
Yeah.
I've decided that 2025 going based and mask
Okay.
are kind of the two things.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, so I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing to be mask other than like wear different shoes
Okay.
and like walk a little. Like I don't think that like straight men like really bend their knees when they walk. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they
Like
walk funny.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
stiff.
Yeah.
They're not connected to their bodies.
So I kind of yeah.
They're very separated
Yeah,
mentally.
so I'm trying to really disconnect from myself entirely and kind of I guess put that wall between that wall of masculinity between
Yeah.
my consciousness and my existence.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's smart.
Those are my two tip
That's what
jars,
I
by
work.
the way.
Yeah.
Consciousness or existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based in mask.
Taste and mask.
No, I think I could.
2025.
I think I could be more woke. I think I need to read the news more.
I'm like every other guy
Yeah.
as far as wokeness goes, but not this year.
Not this year. We're done being woke.
We're done. 2025. We're full circle back around.
Yeah.
We're
We're
back.
joining the alpha mask community. Yeah. We're coming back around.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. This is where we're meant to be. That's why it feels so homey.
Yeah, don't tell Marge.
Yeah.
Simpsons
Yeah.
joke feels so homey.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So there's a character in The Simpsons
Marge.
named Homer.
Oh, okay.
And
sometimes
sometimes his wife Marge will call him homie.
Cute.
And so yeah, you saying nice and homey, it's like it feels homey. It's like feels homey. Marge
Feels
would kind of be
homey.
like,
Feels
homey. Well,
I
thank you
can't do
everyone
the
for watching the
voice.
last episode of Couch Surfing. Okay, so you moved to New York City in February?
January.
Well, what made you want to move here?
I always wanted to move here, like forever. Like, I'm from Connecticut, so I would take the train in for whatever reason growing up, and
That's so cool.
so cool. And when I was like a preteen, the very cool
Preteen? I'm dead.
Like when we were in middle school,
Yeah.
the very cool birthday thing to do would be to like get all your girlfriends and your mom and their moms and go to the city and like go to Soho and go shopping.
Fun.
That was like the very cool girl birthday thing.
Soho. Wow.
Yeah, everyone would
Okay.
go to Soho and never take the subway.
Yeah.
You would never step foot on the subway.
Right.
You'd either walk for an hour or you'd get like an Uber or something. So I had seen the city, I'd been in the city for whatever reason, and then yeah, I just really like it here. I feel
Mhm.
like I get people on the East Coast. Love an
Yeah.
East Coast person. I also like how everyone focuses on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How has it been treating you? Do you
Really
think?
well. I
Yeah.
love it here. Like, I truly, I feel kind of bad because maybe it'll come later, but everyone is always like, that first year, you're so depressed. And I'm like, I'm having a good time. Like, I'm happy. I'm like, I really like it here. I also am lucky where I like have a lot of friends who live here. So I don't feel super isolated or anything, or like I have to make a bunch of friends. I am making friends, but like kind of as a byproduct of my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you graduate college?
Last May, like a year ago.
Okay. Okay. So you lived in Connecticut for a while, or
Yeah, so I
Syracuse, or-
stayed in Syracuse working for American High through the summer into September.
Okay.
So I graduated, stayed in Syracuse
Okay.
with my coworkers, with Grace and Ryan and Aiden, blah, blah, blah. And then September left, went to Europe by
Mhm.
myself, which is kind of like my like ultimate like discomfort being alone thing that I feel like pushed me like crazy. But I was alone for 3 weeks there, which I think helped a lot with moving here.
Also, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Just like if you can hear things outside, we're playing an hour long.
New York sounds.
Yeah,
City
we're going.
sounds.
It goes through every single sound that a car could possibly make
Yeah.
in the entire hour. Sorry, keep
No,
going.
that's
You're-
okay.
yeah.
So then I went to Europe for like a month-ish, and then I came home, lived in Connecticut, and then moved here.
Wow.
It was very cool. I feel like have you done solo traveling other than, or like you're solo traveling around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
yes.
I've
You've done a
done
lot of solo
Oh,
tra-
I've
Well,
done solo
that's like
traveling.
what this like okay. My solo trip was like so uncomfortable
Mhm.
and I hated it
Mhm.
so much. But it's like
To Europe.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
like after the fact, I know it like forced so much personal growth. Like
Mhm.
so much because I hated it.
Yes.
It was like it
Yeah.
was miserable. And now I'm like, oh, but I'm like a changed person.
Yeah.
Because it was like so awful.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Well, a lot of times, like, solo traveling will be, like, really, really bad when, like, my relationship with myself isn't great because it's
Yeah.
like I'm spending all this time with this person I don't
Dude.
like, and I'm like it's like when you're, like, with your siblings on, like, vacation, you have to, like, learn to like them or else Florida is gonna be
Yeah.
miserable, you
Well,
know?
that was my experience because so before I went, I was very much like, I love myself. I have a great relationship with myself. Let's go to Europe by myself, whatever. Go to Europe by myself. And the whole time hated being alone.
Mm.
2.5 weeks in, I was like, why do I hate being alone so much here? And I had to like really look inward of like, what is going on?
Mhm.
You know what I realized? I thought, or at least when I was there, was like, without having other people around me to confirm that I was like cool and funny and interesting, I felt like a complete lack of like personality because I was like,
Mhm.
there's no one to prove to anybody that I'm like
Mhm.
interesting. It's just me. And I felt really uncomfortable not having someone there to validate how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And then by that realization led to me being like, oh, I think I might be a little bit of a narcissist. And like
Yeah.
I need people to tell me I'm great all the time and like all
Mhm.
this stuff. And that was really crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think like a lot of times it's like, oh, I do feel really great about myself, but it's like a lot of times I'm not feeling great about myself. I'm feeling great about the like external validation that I'm receiving about
Yeah.
myself, and then
Yeah.
I perceive like I misinterpret everyone's opinions about me as me when
Yeah.
like really that's just like those are just a bunch of different like mirrors. That's
I
not like
totally agree.
me looking at myself.
That's
Those
why I
are
feel like
people looking at
solitude is
me.
so important because it's
Yeah.
like you can't really like
And that's the card game you play by yourself.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
That's why you should play solitude like once a day. And I think with like your yoga practice, which I don't know if you talk about on your pod, but like
I do way too much.
okay,
They're
gotcha.
tired of it, yeah.
No, no, they're not. Your yoga practice, like stuff like that. It's like you can't be leaning into other people's opinion of you while you're doing that.
Mhm.
Because also I get addicted to reading my comments. I don't know if you
Mm,
are.
mhm,
I
mhm.
get because like I post like pretty personal videos and then all the comments are like this outpouring of support and I'm like, wow, I am so great.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, wow, all these people think I'm all these amazing things. I must be. That's so cool. And then I have to like walk away and be like, what is wrong with me? That I'm like
Yeah.
identifying so much with what these people are saying about me. It's crazy.
Mhm, mhm. I don't think that, like I mean, obviously, it's like, you have to, like, build that self-discipline to, like, not care about those or, like, build some kind of, like, detachment from it, but also it's like, I don't think that it's just, like, a content creator thing at all anymore. I mean, like, I
No.
think
Oh
that,
yeah,
like,
you're right.
everyone has their own stage, everyone has places where people are saying things about them, everyone can constantly be getting opinions on, it's like, you ever see someone, like, get added to someone's close friend story and you're like, "You you post a lot on here and never on your public story."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "You just constantly, like, need to" like, it's not a it's so human and so natural to
Yeah.
be like, you just want people to keep knowing you exist and to get
Yeah.
validation on your opinions, and I know it all too
Yeah,
well
yeah,
because that's,
yeah.
like, my job, but it's crazy to see, like, real people be like, "I want people to see this, but I don't want everyone to see this, but I want,
I want
like,
it to be
cer"
curated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like
I want you to think this way about me based on this post and this post. I want it to come off like whimsical and whatever. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it is really interesting. I
It's
mean,
like no one can have a bad time at an airport without posting about it. It's like or
that's
it like, it didn't happen.
well, do you ever catch yourself doing this? Where like obviously I post all the time, but like I will catch myself posting something and I feel in my bones like I'm posting this solely for attention right now because I feel deprived of attention at the
Mhm.
moment. And like it'll be like for example, like a bad airport experience or like something like that. And I will delete it right before I post, which I sometimes I don't delete and I post, but sometimes when I realize the only reason I'm posting is because I want to like remind people I'm alive, like, okay, let's maybe hold off. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's stop. We don't have to post that.
It's weird how the internet has gotten that way
It's weird, but
of,
it's
like
also like we were raised that way, where it's like we've been it's like really bums me out to think about.
Yeah.
Or it's like, because also like adults who don't realize that like how exploitive like the technology we're using is
Mm-hmm.
think it's like our fault and we're so addicted and we're so phone crazy. It's like, no, we've been like preyed on since we were 14 to
Yeah.
like want to perform for the internet and want to build an audience and want to be famous. It's
It's
like, also think about our like the television. Like I always think about like the TV shows we were all watching, like Hannah Montana, Victorious, like all the
iCarly.
iCarly, all these things about getting famous.
It's like
All of them.
being seen in like a digital sense is like how we feel like we exist. Like it
Yes.
is like
Yes. And
it
then when
is-
someone's like, I'm not online, you're like, you're a crazy person.
It's like-
how do you do that?
it's like, okay, so you're not participating
Yeah.
and being alive?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
How do you feel alive?
Oh, cool. When was the last time you posted on Instagram? Oh, so you are basically John Doe. Like
Yeah.
you don't exist.
But it like really drives me insane. Dude, have you seen The Holdovers?
Mm-mm.
It's like this, I don't remember, I think it takes place in the 70s. It's this really beautiful movie. And it starts and they're in this boarding school, this boys' boarding school, and they're all these teenage boys, and none of them are on their phones because it's the 70s. I
Mhm.
literally started crying. I straight up started crying. And my dad was like, what is wrong? And I was like, it's all these boys in high school and they don't have phones. So they're just like talking to each other and it's beautiful. And it like, it like truly, I feel like we missed out on like socializing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
Yeah. I do love my phone though.
No, and I honestly, with what I said, still being how I feel, I also don't think I'd prefer to live in a different time
Yeah.
because I think like everything's always going to even out, you know? Like,
Mhm.
sure, maybe not having phones is great, but also my phone is responsible for my entire career.
Yes.
And like, well, it sounds like you're pretty aware of your phone habits, but like being with people who are not aware of their phone habits, or like if you're out to dinner and I've been like out like to bars and clubs and like my friend will literally be like on their phone the whole time. And I'm like, girl, I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm right here. Like, let's hang.
Yeah.
And it makes me really sad because
Mhm.
you can't be like, hey, you're on your phone all the time. You kind of have to just like take it.
It also has been like become like so trite to be like how to get less screen time, or like your phone is the thing causing your problems, that like saying anything to anyone about them being on their phone too much, it's like it almost feels like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Like it's like
obviously.
yeah, it's like it's not even worth saying, because it's like, of course, like
yeah, everybody knows.
it's like, oh, you're gonna be one of those people that has a problem with me being on my phone.
Yeah.
It's like it's not yeah,
I
but
just I feel like the difference in my head is the acknowledgement of it being an addiction or not.
mm,
Because I think when someone will tell me they're not addicted, I'm like, I think you're wrong. I'm like, I think you're wrong, and I think I'm right. And that frustrates me because I think it is. I think it is an addiction
yeah.
personally.
Yeah. I mean, like, treating it like one can definitely help you, like, build
Well,
better habits with it.
Think about if you can't find have you ever not been able to find your phone and you look like a crackhead,
Yeah.
like looking for it?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I've been there and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, why am I digging through couch cushions like a crazy person?
I've been, like, finding a lot of times I'll, like, put my phone, like, in my backpack, or, like, I'll just, like, put it away so it's not, like, on my body. I'm trying to get better at it feeling
Like he's not with you.
okay to not
Yeah.
have a big rectangle attached
Yeah.
to me somewhere that I can
Yeah.
like, so that when I feel for it, it's like I'm trying to get rid of that sense of panic, and it's like it's working a little bit because I'm tired of my phone feeling like a body part of mine.
I completely agree.
Like-
It's like if I'm going to the grocery store across the street to get like fruit, I don't need to bring it. I
Mm-mm.
could just bring my wallet and my keys. And like making that connection and actually trying to do it is like, it is so weird when it's been attached to you for literally a
Mhm.
decade.
Mhm.
Like for a decade, it's just been on you.
I've had this idea to like eliminate my screen time, and I'm not sure if it would work, but I want to get my phone and like set it up like 50 yards away from me, and then like take a gun and shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
like
you have a gun you could use?
no, but I think I'll get a phone
Get a
gun.
okay, phone gun.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a good invention.
Yeah.
Kill your screen time with this phone gun.
It's like one of those like Instagram reels that's like or like one of those like ads that plays before a YouTube video that's like, I switched from bed rotting to shooting my phone with a gun.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
here's how it changed my life.
I would watch that. Well, I bought a product for phone addiction
Is it
stuff.
the break thing?
Yeah. I haven't used it.
Okay.
This is why.
So that's the one where like you have to have a physical brick in order to like open up your phone
So
apps
it's
or
a
something?
it's like a physical thing. I don't really know how it works tech wise, but you tap your phone against it.
Uh-huh.
And when you tap it, it like removes all the like social media apps from your phone. So the idea is if you're going out, like let's say you're going out with your friends and you want to bring your phone, but you don't want to be on social media, you can just tap it. It removes your social media. You go out. You can't re-access it while you're out. You can only access it when you come back and you re-tap. So it like
Wow.
really removes the option. And the reason I have not done it is because I'm afraid that since it's my job, I'm like, what if I tap and I get logged out and then I can't log back in and like there's a thing, like something goes wrong?
Yeah.
That would be a nightmare. It'd be
Yeah.
a true nightmare. So I'm too afraid to actually use it.
What if this brick like you're like I can't get back into my like you one day you're like I can't get back into my social media, like it's all logged me out, like I put it on this brick, and then like someone's like, well, Julia, like what do you mean you just posted on TikTok? I just got a notification. You're like, what do you mean?
That'd be the
I didn't
scariest
post,
thing in the
and then you
world.
open it up, and it's the brick, and
The
it's like,
brick.
hi
It's taken
guys,
over.
I'm gonna be taking over Julia.
An animated brick. Yeah, no, that's their plan is to take over everyone's socials one at a time.
That's genius.
I think it's a good idea though, but
I do
maybe
too.
not for a content creator. I think
Yeah.
it's like scary.
Yeah, I don't know how to balance my screen time. I've just been on like a little, not really like a detox, but I'm just posting on my Instagram story less, really.
Yeah,
And that's a dopamine detox for me.
I get that.
But also they ruined create mode. Instagram create mode,
What happened to it?
like the text on the
Yeah.
background. Well, did you see that they like changed the shade of pink?
No, I didn't see.
Really? Okay, I have to show you this.
No, please show me.
I did just need to pop in here and clarify that Instagram has heard my cries and shouts over the past few months after they have taken away my voice on their create mode Instagram story feature, and they've changed it back. I just didn't want to be spreading any misinformation on this podcast, and also I wanted to find a perfect opportunity to interrupt the episode so that I could tell you that a new solo episode on my Patreon just dropped. I'm releasing solo episodes every other week on my Patreon, as well as a bunch of other bonus content that you should totally check out. It's how I keep the show going. It's only $5 a month. Patreon.com/koipiso. Thank you so much for your support, and back to the show. I was supposed to go on a date, and I and I showed up to this date late because, well, I'll just show you first of all, this was the original.
Oh, yes.
That was the original
I'm
pink.
familiar.
Now Instagram create mode looks like this,
Okay.
which is just a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
Because like this is giving
the
like
white on the left. I don't like that.
yeah, I don't know. It feels more like it's trying to be like aesthetic. Like this feels like before it felt like an aunt who like doesn't know how to post on Facebook. Like
Yeah.
that's the vibe that Instagram create mode.
Yeah.
Now
And we
this is
like
giving
that.
yeah. Now this is giving like music festivals Instagram account reminding everyone to bring water.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like,
sunscreen.
It's
yeah.
yes,
Like,
sunscreen.
hey guys. Yeah, it's too cool. It's trying to be cool.
Yeah, and I hate it because this was how I used Instagram, and they completely threw off my mojo, and it seriously broke my heart and freaked me out when this happened. I was supposed to go on this date, and I was like,
Did you cancel the date?
No. I was like 10 minutes late, and I was like, sorry, work emergency. Because I like had to post like 6 times on my Instagram story, being like,
Hate this.
this is about me.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
changed
yeah.
this,
This
and
was a
and it's
personal attack on my part.
yeah, and it's ruining my life.
Was that a different date or the same date?
That was a different date.
Okay.
I did go on a first date yesterday. Yeah, I got love bombed, but it was in a self-aware way. Like he was saying things, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to stop talking. Like, is this what love bombing is?" And I was like, "You should probably stop talking. This is what love bombing is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just listening.
I told you that. Yeah, you were just like saying stuff, being like, "You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in the
You're, like,
entire world.
nodding.
I'm so sorry. I just said that. Like, am I
No,
like,
no,
are you
I-
uncomfortable?" And I was like, no, I'm just listening, because like I was.
No, I am though. I'm just listening.
I'm just that's all I'm doing, and that's all I'm going to
I'm
continue
just
to
taking
do.
this in.
I'm just really taking this in and figuring out where it's not gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
How have you found the dating scene in New York?
Oh my god. I've been very selective recently,
Okay.
and I like try to stay off Hinge because I've done my time and it really depresses me.
Done my
I
time.
have done my time, and like also just like the quality of man that's like available on Hinge, I'm like really not loving, and it makes me upset.
What do you mean?
Like it just makes me so upset. I don't know. And also they hide all the hot people, which is so
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah, you
Like
gotta pay.
so
It's pay
frustrating.
to win on Hinge.
It really
Yeah.
is. It really is. Honestly, I feel like I'm too, and I talked about this in like my last video diary tiny bit, but like I like we were talking about having a relationship with yourself, and I feel like it's much harder to give attention to that relationship when you have a partner.
Yes.
Because I feel like that self relationship almost goes out the window when you have a
Mhm.
partner, because
Mhm.
all the energy is now redirected to another person.
Mhm.
And I'm really, really curious, like how far my relationship with myself can go. Like
Mhm.
how close can I get with myself without a partner,
Yeah.
and go in that direction for as long as I can until I meet like the right person.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like, well, then I'll be like such a better version of who I am. But I
Which
do
will make that a lot easier when you get into
exactly. But then also, of course, I like affection, and I like, hooking up and those things. So it's a hard balance, because sometimes I'll be like on a really good groove of like, oh, I love who I am. I love what I'm doing. I love my work. I'm taking care of myself. And then all of a sudden it's like, I want a boyfriend. Like, I
Mhm.
want a boyfriend so bad.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
so annoying.
I do that too. Yeah, I do that too. I feel like it's so easy, especially like when you're like having low self-worth or like getting your or you like think that you feel great about yourself, or you're actually feeling great about the way that everyone else is making you feel.
Yeah.
It's like really easy to get a partner when you're at like the lowest low, because then it's like, oh look, a person that I can just like completely fade into,
Yeah. Which
like
I've
and
done so many times.
yes, and I feel like I've just gotten, knock on wood, out of that
Same.
cycle. Yeah,
I've done
and
it so many times.
yeah.
And when one would end, I would go straight into another one,
Mhm.
immediately into another one.
Mhm.
But I also feel like,
That's the problem with being straight, is like you can just go on a walk
yeah,
and
I
find
guess, yeah.
someone.
Well, that was like in college. It was truly like one relationship would end, and I'd be like, well, whoever the next guy is, I guess it's going to be like my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like whoever it turns out to be. But the other thing is, like, I also would love to date someone who values like their relationship with themselves the same way I do.
Mhm.
And that's really hard to find. And I think
Mhm.
especially in like a straight man, it's
Yeah.
like finding a straight man who's like self-aware enough to like have a relationship with themselves without ego being like a huge part of it.
Mhm.
I think especially like a straight man my age, like a 23-year-old guy, like so many of them just haven't grown up yet. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, I don't want to date like a 29-year-old.
Yeah.
I also don't want to wait 5 years to date someone. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
like their own person.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's kind of just like it's just a waiting game for someone who feels like emotionally mature and like they like themselves. I'm so
Mhm.
over anyone who like expresses to me that it's like quirky to like hate themselves. I'm like, I don't find it quirky. I think
Mm,
I think like I don't find it cute. I'm like, I
yeah.
really, if you tell me you hate yourself, like I'm done. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
be around that.
It's so like 2012
I
as
know.
well.
It's like, oh my
It's like
God.
I'm a freaking dumbster fire. My life is literally a
Guys are saying that
mess.
on dates. And I'm
I'm
like,
f-
do you think that's attractive to
I'm
me?
an ugly potato. You
Yeah.
probably think I'm so ugly too, derp.
Yeah, like I went on a date with someone and he was like, I'm just a freak. And I was like, oh my God. I need to go. I actually need to go right now.
You're like, actually, I wasn't really thinking that, but now that you say it,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you are kind of what
I
you say about
I think
yourself.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
kind of do become the things that you think about yourself.
Yeah.
That's kind of how being works.
Yeah, and it would just be nice to meet someone who has like not like, because I've also met the other end where it's like I'm a god,
Yeah.
and that's not good either.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Ugh, I've had that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more fun than the alternative.
Yeah.
And it's like a little bit addicting because you're like, am I dating a god? like this guy is so like confident for no reason. It's so cool, and especially when my self-esteem was really low, dating someone who had really high self-esteem was
Mm.
like really interesting.
Mhm.
Like, oh, this person just loves themselves so much, but
Mhm.
it's at the detriment of everyone around them.
Yeah.
Like, they're not caring about the people around them, which is like
Mhm.
the healthy medium, I think.
Do you think that that's true self-love, or do you think that that's, like, insecurity that's, like, masked and
It's insecurity
okay.
for sure. And I realized that when I was out of it, where I was like, oh, that like huge ego they have is an attempt to overcompensate for all the things they hate about themselves.
Mhm.
Cause it's
Mhm.
just like they're too scared to just like be a person.
I keep having this thing where, like, guys will tell me just, like, their biggest red flags on accident. Like, I had a guy be like, "Yeah, I don't really know, like, like, lesbians don't really like me, I don't know why." And I was like, "What?"
Say that
And I was like,
again.
"I'm going to call the cops."
That's
I was
really
like,
funny.
"You don't tell a gay man that you're on a date with that lesbians don't like
Why
you?
don't lesbians like you?
They will mobilize and be here in 40 minutes. Like, you better run home."
Yeah.
I have hundreds of lesbians at my disposal.
Yeah, people
And
need to put a lid on it.
or even the guy, like, yesterday, the date that I went on, he's like, "I've never been, like, a girl gay," and I was like, "Okay," like, I was like, "Well, I am," 'cause I, had two sisters, and, he's like, "I don't know, like, girls don't really, like, get along with me," and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
Girls don't get why are these
Just as
gay
a
men
whole,
having
like
trouble getting
all of
along
them?
with women?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the part about being a gay man that's so good is getting along with women.
Yeah.
Like, does not make sense to
No, it
me.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I honestly, I think that I
Is it
understand why
misogyny?
lesbians
Like,
I think it's that. I also think that when I think about the gay man that was saying that lesbians don't like him,
uh-huh.
he was he was a finance bro,
Mhm.
president of his frat in college, a business
Okay.
frat,
Yeah.
but also and buff, masculine, kind
Yeah.
of what I'm going for this
Uh-huh.
year.
Uh-huh.
But I think that that's like the opposite of what a lesbian is
Yeah.
most of the time, and so I could see those kind of like butting heads, and also like both lesbians and that guy are gay, but one has a lot easier of a life than the other. And
Yeah.
so like I could see that just like it's so hard for those two to probably see it eye to eye when
I
it's
could
like
totally see that
a
being the
bro like that wants to be like, "Yeah, we're in community," but he doesn't know how to act with any kind of nuance or like
Yeah.
awareness of like what being like it's such a different experience for the both of them. So for them to see eye to
Yeah.
eye, I'm like I
That makes total sense. I feel
yeah.
like that's probably where it comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, he should have the self-awareness to know that.
I told him I was like that is by the way the biggest red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last date I went on, this wasn't like a red flag, but it was really funny. He like told me I have a lisp. And so he didn't say lisp. He was like, I like your voice. And I was like, oh, thank you. What about it? And he was like, your S's are soft. And then I went around asking people after that. I was like, are my S's soft? And they were like, yeah, you have a bit of a lisp. I was like, what?
Wait, really?
I don't know. It's like new to me.
I think you have a distinct way of speaking, but I wouldn't call it a lisp.
But do you think my S's soft?
I guess so.
I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I
What-
just thought it was so funny because it was like I'm just on this date, and then I'm like, am I being told I have a speech impediment?
Wow.
I'm fine with it. It's fine. I've been told that's not the first guy who's made a comment about my voice. Or like, I don't know. I don't think my voice is particularly interesting, but I think I say words weird. Apparently, at least to other people, they sound.
I think
weird.
I think you have an interesting voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny to me because I don't hear it.
Yeah.
I do not hear it at all.
Well, you spent your whole life with it.
I spent my
to
whole
be
life with
fair.
it. Well, my sister, when I was little, would make fun of me because I couldn't say R's. And so I became very aware of my R's, and I think I fixed that.
Mm-hmm.
But then the rest of it, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. All that to say, I'm not really dating. I'm not really out there.
Yeah.
I like to think that the guy I want to be with is like way too busy to date me right now. Like he's like working.
Yeah.
And we'll run into each other at some film or content event somewhere and be like, hey, and meet
Yeah.
there.
Hopefully. Oh, how romantic to like meet at VidCon.
That's kind of what I'm envisioning in my fantasy, to meet at VidCon, yeah.
Yeah, you grow old going to the Webbies every year together.
Yeah, walk the very short red carpet together. Take
The
one
red
singular
rug.
picture, yeah.
It's just like one of those like carpet samples from like Home
Yeah,
Depot.
I don't think they paid for a whole carpet.
What kind of goals do you have right
What kind of
now?
goals?
What are you excited about?
Oh, good question. I really want to invest as much time and energy as I can into my scripted content and
Mhm.
like write and produce 5 to 10 minute like short films. But also, what I really want to do, which I think might be a little ambitious, but like I think it'd be really cool, is set as like a challenge publicly on YouTube that
Mm.
I'm going to write like 5 TV pilots this year and
Mm.
produce like 5 to 10 minutes of each as like a sizzle or like a proof of concept. Because what I really want to do is make TV. And I
Mhm.
think if I just like am screaming into the void, like I am writing scripts all the time, I
Mhm.
am I think at some point something's got to give. And so those are like my goals, is to like write and
Yeah,
produce those things as much as possible and for it to pick up some sort of momentum in some direction.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that like I like that your goal is centered around the thing that you want to do, but trying that thing over and over again.
Oh yeah.
You know, like getting your reps in. I think that that's like it's like the I think that this is someone told me this on an episode of Couch Surfing, but it's like the guy who if like 100 days from now, like it was like two people were making like clay pots, and it's like whoever makes the best one 100 days from now. Do you know this
Yeah, whoever like
metaphor?
one group is told. I don't know if this is the same thing, but one group is told make the very best thing you can. The others said make as many as you can.
Yeah,
And the
well, yeah, they're both supposed to make the best, and then one guy like spends all 100 days on one thing versus like the guy who like makes a
yeah,
new pot every day and his
I
pots end
think
up being
quantity is
better.
really important.
Yeah.
I think there's a very healthy medium where it's like if you're only focused on quality and perfectionism, it can stop you from creating, and I
Mhm.
don't think that's productive.
Mhm.
But also if you're only focused on quantity and you don't care about quality, you're also not going to see the same amount of progress. But I think if you can like crank out good stuff that you believe in as much as possible. Like when you're saying get your reps in, that's genuinely like my only goal is to do this so that I can get better.
Mhm.
Cause what I would love is like, I'm not the most experienced writer. I'm not the most experienced producer, actress, anything. I don't have that much experience in general compared to like, someone older than me.
Mhm.
But like by the time a production company reaches out to me and is like, we want to work with you, I want to have all the skills so I'm not caught off guard by anything and they can trust me. And the only way to do that, I feel like, is to just make stuff
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And for like my teams to keep getting bigger and knowing all the running into problems and solving, it's the discomfort thing again.
Yeah.
Like running into production problems and having to solve them makes me more confident for the next shoot, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Yeah,
love it.
I feel like the pressure for quality will just lead to like perfectionism and yeah, like you said, you'll just kind of be stuck wanting
Yeah,
quality, but like quantity will just like eventually lead to quality even if you
I
don't pay
agree.
attention to it. I have a playlist for this podcast where every guest gets to add one
I
song.
get to add a song.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my God,
any song
wait.
that's on your mind or your favorite song or
You don't care about like what it is?
nope, not at all.
Okay. Maybe I'll add a weird song.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a song that like I will listen to when I'm like journaling or like reading.
Okay.
And it's called Moss 2.
And my
Oh, I
song.
haven't been speaking into my mic. There's my mic.
Oh, okay. Do you want to say the song again?
Oh, it's
Just
called Moss 2.
awesome. Mine is Elastic Girl by Kahimi Carey.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, Julia, thank you for being here.
Thanks
and
for having me.
Thank
This
you
was
for having
fun.
me.
Of course.
This has been so much
you didn't
fun.
tell me. Was the couch really bad?
It's not the worst.
Okay. It's
It-
not the worst.
It was not great.
Okay. Was there a reason why it wasn't great? I'd love to know.
I think
Was
that
it these?
yeah,
Did you
yeah,
take these
I
off?
think if I took these off, it would have been
Okay,
better.
okay.
But like,
It's very narrow.
it's very narrow. It's like if I curled up at all, I was falling off.
Okay.
But I'm just becoming a stronger couch surfer.
Yeah.
The hardships build
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. Oh wait, what time is it? Do I have to go right now?
You have like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll go.
great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.